Billionaire whispers to waitress, "Spend Christmas night with me, no more waiting tables ever." Her hands trembled as she read the note he'd slipped beneath her tip. $5,000 and 12 words that would change everything. Spend Christmas night with me. No more waiting tables ever. Jack. What Sarah didn't know was that Jack Winters wasn't just any wealthy customer, he was running from secrets that could destroy them both. The Christmas Eve shift at Rosie's Diner was always the worst. While families gathered around fireplaces and Christmas trees, Sarah Miller balanced plates of turkey specials and refilled coffee cups for the lonely souls who had nowhere else to go. "Order up!" Manny shouted from the kitchen, sliding 2 plates of meatloaf across the counter. Sarah tucked a strand of chestnut hair behind her ear and grabbed the plates. 26 years old with a nursing degree gathering dust because her mother's medical bills had swallowed every penny she'd saved. 2 years of double shifts at Rosie's had become her life sentence. "Table 7 needs more coffee," barked Doreen, the night manager who wore perpetual disappointment like others wore perfume. "On it," Sarah replied, forcing a smile that didn't reach her eyes. The bell above the door jingled, and Sarah's gaze drifted to the entrance. The man who walked in didn't belong in a place like Rosie's. His charcoal overcoat probably cost more than she made in 3 months, and even from across the room, she could tell his watch was worth more than her car. He chose a booth in her section, removing his coat to reveal a tailored suit that hugged broad shoulders. When he looked up, their eyes met, and something electric passed between them. His eyes were startlingly blue against his tanned skin, and for a moment, Sarah forgot to breathe. "You gonna serve the suit, or should I?" Doreen's voice snapped her back to reality. Sarah grabbed a menu and approached his table. "Welcome to Rosie's. Coffee? Please." His voice was deep, with a hint of something she couldn't place. Not quite an accent, but a cadence that suggested he'd traveled far beyond the boundaries of this small town. "I'm Sarah. I'll be your server tonight." She poured his coffee with practiced precision. "Jack," he replied simply, studying her with an intensity that made her cheeks warm. "Jack Winters." The name tickled something in her memory, but she couldn't place it. "What brings you to Rosie's on Christmas Eve, Jack?" Not many people in suits stopped by. A shadow crossed his face. "Sometimes the places you're supposed to be aren't where you belong." The cryptic answer hung between them as she took his order, just coffee and a slice of apple pie. Throughout her shift, she felt his eyes following her, not in the creepy way some customers watched, but with genuine curiosity. When she brought his check, he handed her a credit card without looking at the total. The name embossed on the black card made her eyes widen, Jackson R. Winters, CEO of Winters Enterprises. The tech billionaire whose face had been splashed across business magazines. "Is something wrong?" he asked, noticing her reaction. "No, you're him. The Jack Winters." A wry smile touched his lips. "Guilty as charged." When she returned with his receipt, he was gone, but on the table lay an envelope. Inside was $5,000 in crisp hundreds and a note that made her heart stop. "Spend Christmas night with me. No more waiting tables ever. Jack." His phone number was written at the bottom. Sarah's hands shook as she stared at the money. Was this some kind of joke? Or something more sinister? What did a billionaire want with a waitress from nowhere? What she didn't know was that Jack Winters was running from ghosts of his own, and that her face had awakened memories he'd spent years trying to bury. Sarah couldn't sleep that night. The money and note sat on her kitchen table like a ticking bomb. $5,000 would cover her mother's next treatment and the overdue rent. But what was the catch? After hours of debate, she called the number. "I didn't think you'd call," Jack's voice answered on the first ring. "I don't know why I did," she admitted. "What exactly are you proposing, Mr. Winters?" "Dinner. Tomorrow night. Christmas dinner at my hotel. Nothing more." "And the no more waiting tables part?" There was a pause. I have a proposition. A job offer. But I'd rather discuss it in person. Sarah took a deep breath. Why me? You don't even know me. Another pause, longer this time. Let's just say you remind me of someone. Someone important. The mystery deepened, but something in his voice, a vulnerability beneath the confidence, made her decision. Text me the address. I'll be there at 7. The Peninsula Hotel was the most exclusive in the city. Sarah felt out of place in her only good dress, a simple black number she'd worn to her college graduation. The doorman eyed her suspiciously until she mentioned Jack's name, then his demeanor changed instantly. Mr. Winters is expecting you, miss. Penthouse suite. The elevator ride to the top floor gave her time to question her sanity. Meeting a stranger, billionaire or not, in his hotel room was exactly the kind of thing her mother had warned her against. Jack opened the door before she could knock. He'd traded his suit for dark jeans and a cashmere sweater that made his eyes even bluer. You came, he said, relief evident in his voice. I'm still not sure why I did. The penthouse was decorated for Christmas, with a tree that touched the ceiling and lights twinkling across the panoramic city view. A table was set for 2, with candles and fine china. I hope you like turkey. I tried to create a traditional Christmas dinner. He seemed almost nervous, which didn't fit with the confident billionaire image. It's beautiful, she admitted. But I still don't understand why I'm here. Jack gestured to the table. Let's eat first. Then I'll explain everything. The dinner was delicious, but Sarah barely tasted it. Jack asked about her life, and she found herself telling him things she rarely shared, her dreams of becoming a nurse, her mother's illness, the crushing weight of medical debt. That's why you're still at the diner, he said, understanding dawning in his eyes. Not all of us have billion-dollar safety nets, she replied, more sharply than intended. I wasn't born into money, Sarah. His voice was quiet. I grew up in foster care. Bounced between 17 homes before I aged out of the system. The revelation stunned her. But you're Jack Winters. Now I am. But I was once just Jack, the kid nobody wanted. He stood and walked to the window. The reason I asked you here, the reason I noticed you, is because you look exactly like someone I once knew. Someone who showed me kindness when no one else did. Who? He turned, his eyes haunted. Your mother. Eleanor Miller. Sarah felt the room spin. How do you know my mother's name? 20 years ago, I was placed with a foster family in this city. They were cruel. I ran away in the middle of winter. Your mother found me half frozen on a park bench. She was a nurse at County General then. She took me to the hospital, made sure I was safe. She even tried to become my foster parent. That's impossible, Sarah whispered. She never told me. The system wouldn't let her. I was moved to another state a week later. But I never forgot her kindness. He reached into his pocket and pulled out a worn photo. She gave me this. The picture showed a younger version of her mother in her nursing uniform, arm around a skinny boy with familiar blue eyes. When I saw you at the diner, it was like seeing a ghost. You have her smile, her eyes. Sarah's mind reeled. So this dinner, the money, it's because of my mother? Partly, he admitted. But also because I need your help. The job offer is real. I'm opening a chain of medical clinics for underserved communities. I need someone with nursing training who understands what it's like to struggle with medical costs. Someone with compassion. And you think that's me? Based on a 20-year-old memory? I know it's you. I've been following your mother's treatment. Anonymous donations to help with the bills. Sarah gasped. That was you? The hospital said it was a foundation. My foundation. I never forgot what she did for me. His eyes held hers. The job pays $150,000 a year, plus benefits. You'd be the program director for the first clinic. Your mother would receive lifetime care at no cost. Tears filled Sarah's eyes. Why didn't you just tell me this at the diner? Would you have believed me? A stranger claiming to know your mother from 20 years ago? He had a point. I still don't know if I believe you now. Jack smiled sadly. Call her. Ask her if she remembers a skinny kid named Jack from the winter of 2005. With trembling fingers, Sarah dialed her mother's number. 6 months later, Sarah stood at the podium, cutting the ribbon on the first Eleanor Miller Medical Clinic. Beside her, her mother, healthier than she'd been in years, beamed with pride. And next to her mother stood Jack, the boy she'd once saved, now a man who'd changed both their lives. Sometimes Christmas miracles come in unexpected packages, Sarah told the crowd. Sometimes the people who seem furthest from us are actually connected by invisible threads of kindness that stretch across years. As applause erupted, Jack squeezed her hand. Their relationship had evolved slowly, built on trust and shared purpose rather than the whirlwind romance of fairy tales. But in his eyes, she saw a future brighter than any she could have imagined that Christmas Eve at Rosie's diner. No more waiting tables ever, he whispered, echoing the note that had started it all. No, she agreed, leaning into his embrace. Just changing lives, one patient at a time. That night, as they celebrated with the clinic staff, Jack pulled her aside. I have something for you. He handed her a small box. Inside was a key. What's this? The key to our future, he said, dropping to one knee. Sarah Miller, will you marry me? The answer was in her tears before it reached her lips. If you enjoyed this story of hope, second chances, and Christmas miracles, please hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more heartwarming content that'll make your day. We'd love to know, what country are you watching from? Drop it in the comments below and let us know if you've ever experienced an unexpected connection that changed your life.